Hey guys, the Tech Wannabe here, and today's video is going to be the best gaming and streaming computer for under $1,500. I want to quickly say that what you want to do is, before going off this video, listen to what I have to say about the selections I have made here, because there are some alternatives that may be more suited for the use that you're looking to get out of your computer. Also, this video is for people that are not looking for anything too overly complicated. All the components that I've picked here are more or less plug and play. We're not focusing on overclocking, and we're not looking at water cooling either. So this shouldn't be something that would be too hard to build for your first build, and it shouldn't cost too much if you are going to pay for someone else to have it built for you. If you do find this video helpful, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you really liked it, sub to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this one. So starting from the top, we have the Ryzen 5 5600X. Now, I want to quickly say that this processor may be pretty difficult to get a hold of right now. So if you are struggling to find it and really need to get a system built ASAP, I would recommend going for the 3600 instead, and then you can upgrade to the 5600 later down the line without even having to change your motherboard. These two processors are pretty much the best in class for gaming and streaming at their price points, and it's very hard to recommend anything but them, so it's going to be one of these two processors in my opinion. The reason being not just because of their performance, but also because of the AM4 platform, offering you the ability to upgrade to better CPUs in the future. So if you buy a 3000 now, you can still upgrade to a 5000 without even buying a new motherboard, which is a very nice feature. And you also have PCIe Gen 4, which pretty much the only application for at the moment is fast storage, but it is a big difference in that category, so I would always recommend it over Intel. But I do still have an Intel build to show you guys after this, so stick around if that's something that you would want to see instead. The motherboard, we're going for something that's not too flashy. We've got an MSI MPG X570, offers the features that I spoke about before. There's nothing really else there to talk about. It's very well reviewed, getting 4.5 stars on PC Part Picker and 5 stars pretty much in every major retailer. There's nothing here to really sing and dance about, but it's going to work properly. But if you need something that's going to have, say, built-in Wi-Fi, this is one of the options that I talked about that you might want to change. But do expect extra features to cost you more money, taking it out of that $1,500 price bracket. Also, important side note when buying your motherboard, make sure that it's either running the latest BIOS so it can use a 5000 series CPU, or make sure you know how to make sure it does, or get someone else to do it for you, because it won't work if it's not running the right BIOS. And moving on to memory, I've gone with Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro 16GB. Now that's two 8GB sticks at 3200 MHz CL16 memory. I've gone for slightly slower speed RAM with lower latency, which actually plays really well with Ryzen, giving it a nice performance uplift. There is a lot you can do with memory. Now, there's actually so much here that I could talk about that I've decided to make a whole different video about that in the top right now. So if you want to know more about what the best memory for your Ryzen processor is going to be, then check that video out, because it's a lot of information to get through there. As far as storage goes, we have got the Corsair MP600 Force Series Gen 4 1TB M.2 drive. This is a PCIe Gen 4 M.2, so it is incredibly fast, and it's 1TB, so that's going to be more than enough to get you up and running. Great thing about storage is something that you can expand easily into the future without costing you too much money, so you can get some additional mechanical drives or some additional 2.5-inch SATAs for only maybe $100. But for now, this is going to be more than enough for what we need, and that's what we're going to go for. And for the graphics card, we have an RTX 3070, and if you're wondering why I've picked this over the 6800, well, it's because, first of all, the performance is more or less the same, but the 3070 in most instances comes out cheaper, but primarily because of the NVIDIA broadcasting software that you get with this. If you're not familiar with it, definitely go find a video about it. I haven't done one myself, unfortunately, because I don't have the products to display what it can do properly, but what it can do in a nutshell is offer you background noise removal on your microphone, which is powered by NVIDIA's AI. It is an extremely efficient tool. You will see, once you check out our video, you will understand why I'm getting excited about this. And also, you have the ability to turn your room into like a giant green screen. So without having to buy one, that is. It's all powered by the RT cores on your graphics card. So it basically affects the performance 0% while being used. And then you also have the NVENC encoder, which you're going to use for streaming to, again, minimize impact on performance while you're streaming. And this is already a very powerful computer. So reducing that as well is going to allow you to play in very high refresh rates at high resolutions and then stream the same. That is a fantastic overall package, and for a content creator, it's very, very hard to recommend AMD at this point because it just doesn't have the same feature suite surrounding the performance of the card. For the case, this is one of my favorites. I use the Fractal Design Meshify CS2 myself. It's slightly bigger, but the case is just very well rounded for its price. Great airflow, it's got good space in the case, it looks nice, and it's easy to clean. So overall, for under $100, I can't think of a better case, but if you want to get something else, that's fine. Just make sure it fits an ATX motherboard, make sure that it fits the graphics card, and you're good to go. And then for power supply, I've gone for something pretty run-of-the-mill, a 750 watt 80 plus gold from Corsair. It's not too important which one you go for here. I would recommend 750 watts upwards because that gives you just more upgradability in the future. This computer uses nowhere near that much power, but it's always better to have more than to be balls to the wall. It doesn't really matter, again, which one you go for. I would say as long as it's in the right wattage and it's 80 gold plus, then you're pretty much good to go, because this case, you're not going to even be able to see it in it anyways. But don't go too cheap on this, because the last thing you want is something that's just going to absolutely fry your motherboard due to cheap capacitors or something. And that was the AMD version. Moving quickly on to the Intel, there's not a lot more extra to cover here, and I want to try and wrap this video up nice and quick for you. I understand it's been quite long. So by going with Intel, you have a slightly slower processor. It's just not quite as powerful as its AMD equivalent. You also lose access to PCIe Gen 4 for those extra fast storage speeds, and you don't have a cooler in the box either, so there's an additional cost incurred there as well. Other than that, pretty much everything except from the storage is the same. The difference there is that we have to go for a standard PCIe Gen 3 M.2 drive. Still really fast, just not as fast as the Gen 4 in the AMD build. Also, the power draw from this system is slightly higher if that matters to you, but again, it's well within the parameters of what the PSU is able to take. And there you have it. I hope that helps. If you do have any questions whatsoever about any of the components, or if there's components that might be better, let me know down in the comments below and I'll do my best to reply within 24 hours. Again, if you did find the video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Helps it massively get out there and reach people who need the help. And also, sub the channel if you really like the content so you don't miss any more videos like this one. And until next time, I've been the Tech Wannabe. Peace!